law of attraction is mentioned twice, or the explanation for law of attraction is given twice in two different contexts in the Bhagavad Gita. One is a linear growth where you have a goal in mind, you attract the circumstances and you hit that goal. The second one is quantum results. Okay, so the linear results are, say, if I want to achieve a certain size, or growth, or a promotion, or something like a very specific goal in my mind. Krishna says, "Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sthathaiva bhajamyam mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah," which means as one worships me, that is how I manifest to them. Most people just but most people get a lot out of just this much of the verse. But the next half of the verse is very interesting, where Krishna says, Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasha. Everyone, in whatever they are desiring, in whatever they are wanting, are propitiating me alone, are calling on me alone. So Bhagwan, through his Daivik power of Maya, grants what we are drawing. Yeah. So what ends up happening sometimes when you think about Maya, you say, oh, Maya is wrong, Maya ko chhod do. You have to get out of Maya.
Maya is the simulation.
Maya is the potent energy of the Lord, which we can also go into depths about, because these are really beautiful, deep philosophical concepts. But we often, in colloquial language, we say Maya is illusion, illusory, and which it is. It's an illusion. But it is an illusion in which we are existing. So the beauty of Maya is that you can utilize Maya to achieve your goals. Now, it depends on what your goals are, right? You can use it to achieve the goals that you have in the worldly sense. I want a house, I want a partner, I want blah, blah, blah. By focusing on that goal, and then Bhagavan says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sthathaiva bhajamyam. As they worship me, if they worship me as a relationship, I will manifest as a relationship. If they worship me as money, I will manifest as money. If they worship me as promotion, I will manifest as promotion.
What does that mean if you worship me as X, Y, Z?
So ultimately, anything that we are desiring comes from Bhagavan alone.
You mean the desires are put into our head because of God?
The desires come from, the ultimate desire for anything is what? Happiness. Whether I want to drink a glass of water and I'm thirsty, or I want to get married and have, a family. Ultimately, I think that this will give me happiness. Okay? The problem is, rather than searching for happiness, we search for the interim steps. And Bhagavan understands that. And he says, I will create a system for you. I will create an arrangement for you where you ask for what you want and that system will give it to you. Yeah, that is the same thing as law of attraction. And Bhagavan says, 4 types of people come to me. Chaturvidha bhajante mam, enough, Sukruti Norjuna. Artho jignasur artharthi jnani cha bharatarshaba. 4. So 4 types of people come to me, Arjuna, worship me. Artho, one who is distressed. Oh Bhagavan. Or I am broken up. I need a partner. Or I'm really struggling financially. I need more money. Distressed. Jignasur, one who wants to learn. One who has some desire to learn. And that could be spiritual learning or it could be worldly learnings as well. I want to learn. I want to learn the molecular structure of this water. So that ultimately, that's also a desire. And that's also going to Bhagavan. Artharthi. So one who wants material growth. Yeah, material possessions and so on. And Jnani. All 4. So all 4, which in these 4 categories, we can put all of us and all of our desires at any given time.
What is Jnani?
Jnani is one who is searching for knowledge, highest spiritual knowledge.
Spiritual growth.
And self-realization. Yeah.
Okay.
So if we think about all of our desires, we can put them in these 4 categories broadly. So if Krishna is saying all these 4 are coming to me and I am servicing them and ultimately everything is through me, then that law of attraction, the linear path, is being given by Krishna alone, by Bhagavan alone, whether you believe, whether you see Krishna as your Ishta Devta or not. Bhagwan alone is giving all that as a linear path to law of attraction. Then there is the quantum path, which is you start to see results that you had not even expected. There are quantum results happening. Quantum matlab what? In all directions, things are growing. In your health, you're growing. In your relationships, you're growing. In your work, you're growing. And that is having radial effects. You grow in your work, you mentor someone, they grow. They mentor someone, they grow. You earn some money, you spend it, you create a new industry, then the new people come in, they grow, and you're also growing. These quantum results are happening on all sides. That quantum results, Bhagavan talks about in the form of yagya. Now, yagya is a phrase that most people are familiar with. Havan, is another word for havan is yagya, fire ceremony. Yeah. Now, yagya, today we understand it as, we understand as sacrifice because that's the English translation. But it's much deeper than that. Much, much deeper than that. Because sacrifice creates this idea that I'm giving up something. But actually, it is an expression of abundance. That I have so much that I am thankful for it. And I'm saying that this has not been created by me. I am pouring myself into this. I'm pouring these offerings into the fire for Bhagavan, for the divine who has made all of this possible. How do you say? In the Vedas, where they talk about karma kand, there are clear instructions for yagya. How should it be? And typically what used to happen when these big yagyas used to take place, everyone in the community used to come and contribute. So some person would bring the grain, someone would bring the firewood, someone would bring the ghee, and someone would erect the tent, someone would clean the space, someone would come and chant, someone would cook the food. So it was a community gathering. And this principle of yagya, today also we see Sarvajanik Ganpati. If you're having a puja at your house, I'll come, I'll bow down, I'll leave some cash. That is also a form of yagya, participating, community participation. But yagya comes from realizing that there's something higher at play here that I am not doing. Then when we take the I out of the equation, then suddenly our insecurities go, our fears go, our likes, dislikes, preferences, ye hona chahiye, wo nahi, that clears away. And more of us is present in that moment to participate. So what Bhagavan says to Arjuna in chapter 3, chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita is you participate in this war. Participate in your job, whatever your job is. Participate in it with yagya spirit. Participate in it by taking that I-ness and my-ness, take it out of it. Think that this is, I am expressing my abundance. I recognize that there's a higher power in play and see what happens.
That's the law of attraction according to Hinduism.
That is the law of attraction with quantum results.
Where you flow with life and you say that, yes, I'll put in my effort, but actually the results are totally dependent on the higher power.
You recognize that there's a higher power at play, playing through you. And we stop getting in the way with our likes and dislikes. And when we get out of the way, then that higher power plays through you.
What do you mean about this likes and dislikes? What do you mean you get out of the way? And I'm asking you this because it's the actionable step for human beings.
Yeah. Should I give you an example from my own life?
Sure.
Recently, what happened? So this get out of the way is I-ness and my-ness. Okay. Which we could ordinarily call ego. Ego is what? I am this person and this jacket is mine. This job is mine. This, whatever name, fame is mine. When we say that I am this person with this title, walking into the building, then suddenly if someone says, "Kaun hai tu?" then we'll be like, "Arey, do you not know who I am?" Then our ego gets pricked. Then what happens when our ego is pricked? We're not fully available in that moment to respond appropriately for what's required at that time. Yeah. So that I-ness and my-ness, i.e. our ego, can cause us to stumble through life. We'll get through life, but we will stumble through life. And that's what happens in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, where they have assembled for the war. But Arjuna sees his own family on the other side, and his I-ness and minus gets pricked. Arey, how can I kill Bhishma? How can I kill my guru? How can I do this? How can I fight this? The whole world will, suffer as a result of this. Krishna says, listen, you are saying wise things, but you're not actually talking wisdom. Take your I-ness and minus out of it and see the quantum results that come. That is yagya. So in Hinduism, we have this theory, law of attraction, but we actually have it in a much more profound sense than it's currently explored on YouTube, because we have the linear path, which is what we've got in The Secret. But we also have this quantum path, which Shiva Shakti is in the Shaivite tradition, and through from more not just Shaivite, but from a Vaisheshika and a Sankhya tradition philosophically, and from a Vedantic perspective philosophically, we've got this path of the Gita.
So it's kind of like you have to submit to a higher power, but at the same time still give your best.
Yeah. So you see, in Hindu tradition, we have different paths. We have paths of bhakti, we have paths of jnana, we have paths of karma. Principally these three, the other paths also, right? So in path of bhakti, we'll say, I submit to a higher power. They are acting through me. In path of jnana, it says, I recognize that this is the play of different karmas, that this whole world is sustained by a divine principle. So I know that ultimately my fears are worthless, because ultimately the higher principle is sustaining it. Karma is, I am here for a reason. I have to act. I am not going to run away from this field. I'm going to do what's needed. So it's a slightly different bend depending on where your mind is at and which path you are following. But yes, ultimately there is unity across all three.
The Western aspect of this law of attraction is you write down your goals, put it up, think about it, meditate upon it. That's all I know about the Western law of attraction.
Yeah.
When people in the West talk about using it.
Yeah.
Is there a version of that in terms of actionables here?
Same ही तो है. ये यथा माम प्रपद्यन्ते ताम सदैव भजाम्यहम. We write down our goals, put it on the wall, look at it, visualize it. What are we doing? We are doing a process that in Hinduism is known as Opasana. I look at, say for example, I want my dream house. I write that down. I want my dream house. It should have so many bedrooms. It should have so much outdoor land. It should have a balcony. This should be the view. I take that, write all of that down. I find some nice reference photos, create a mood board, put it up on the wall, and I look at it. And I say, oh, wow. It'll have. And then ultimately, the power of my mind is in that linear direction. The full power of my mind is on that. And gradually the circumstances develop for that to manifest itself. Now, when we go into the temple, or when we sit down in our home temple to meditate, and we see a picture of Sri Ganesh, okay, what do we see? We see all of the same attributes of that. We see, oh, I have a large head, so I should have a profound intellect to engage with the world. I have large ears, so I should listen more. My mouth should be covered, so speak at the appropriate time. I should have a trunk that is so I should navigate the world well. That trunk can pick up a log and can pick up a pin. It's very malleable to the situation. I have a large belly, so I should be able to digest everything that the world throws at me. I have 4 hands, which means I should be dexterous in the actions that come to me. I have a pasha and an ankush, which is a noose and a goad. So I should be able to push myself in the right situations as well as hold myself back in the right situations. So just as we are absorbing the visualization of a mood board in the Western concept of the law of attraction, in the same way, we are absorbing the divine qualities of the Lord through the process of Opasana. Now, Opasana in colloquial terms, we mean darshan. So what do we do when we go take darshan of the deity? We go to the temple, dekha, namaskar kiya, ek pradakshina kiya, and we leave. Or we sit down for a period of time. But real darshan, let's sit there for a moment. Let's observe the different qualities of the deity. Observe the form. Reflect on, why does Bhagavan have some deities? Why do they have 4 hands? Why do some have more hands? Why do some have weapons? Why is someone on a lotus? So this process of Opasana creates connection. That connection creates depth. That depth creates manifestation. Yeah. So Krishna is what he's saying. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. You can either think of him as his form in a deity and absorb him and connect with him and manifest, or you can think of him as house and he'll manifest. He's very willing. I'll manifest it for you through Maya.
What do you have to do?
Just desire. But who are you desiring for? Be conscious of that. Yeah. Am I desiring for myself or for my greatness? Or am I desiring for my evolution? And we can desire for our material things also for our evolution. May I get the right amount of money so that I can do good in the world? Lakshmi ji, may Lakshmi ji come to me so I can do Narayan Seva. Where do we see Lakshmi ji? At the feet of Narayan. So she is also doing Narayan Seva. So may material growth come to me so that I can use it for a higher good.
Got it. So when your law of attraction is associated with spiritual growth and you submit and you still work hard and do your duty well, like give your 100% in your work,
Yeah.
these 4 factors come together
Yeah.
and actually give you your goals faster.
Quantum growth happens. If you think about India's history, we were Sone ki chidiya at one point, as they say, large, a quarter of the world's GDP, even up until relatively recently, in the last few hundred years, was produced and consumed in India. How did that quantum growth take place in ways that didn't happen elsewhere in the world? Because these were the underlying principles of society, where we recognized that I have to act for a higher goal, and I have to act minus me for a big vision. So then those big visions started to manifest.
Lots to absorb.